That's right, because you're signed in. That'd be great, Dave. Awesome.
I mean, it'd be great because I could just catch you in like the not polished Josh mode.
That's right. That's right. That's what everybody wants to see. Not polished me mode.
And giving Dave control was a great idea, we said.
Terrible idea. I'll have to change the password this week,
See, here's the thing with StreamYard though, Josh, is unless I log out, I'm automatically still in.
Oh, I guess that's a good point.
True.
So that's a good point.
You can't get rid of me now.
Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Oh no, I don't even have the option. I don't even have the option to ban this guy. It's like I could ban you, Matt, but I can't do it because
nobody wants to ban me.
He's part of he's part of it now. Too much power. What is going on, everyone?
Unlimited power.
Welcome back to the podcast. This is I took a week off. Crazy things happened, and I'm back. So what's going on, everyone? How we doing? How we doing tonight?
We're doing well, man. I'm a little shocked you don't have any sunburn or anything.
He must have that SPF 100 on we were talking about last week.
Man,
and that big
he was
hat.
Yeah. I need to.
Was that not like the best or what?
It is.
It was a good hat. It was a good hat. Right? I'm almost a little sad that I edited the video though. I really wanted the intro of okay, go. And then Taylor dropping the phone in the hot tub.
Well, that drop was supposed to be kind of like either like a transition or just a cutaway,
Right.
Yeah, you missed that part.
But I mean, listen, not everything's always polished, right? So
no, it's not. But I saved you and I polished it for you.
Well, we appreciate that. So we're just trying to kick back, relax. Where was that at? I think that was in Cozumel when I sent you guys that.
Yeah, you were in Mexico.
Video.
Yeah, you were in Mexico.
Yes, we were in the pool. Yeah, very good.
In the hot tub. Yeah. Hey, the voice of Taylor from the distance.
Right? Tell me about it. I got to get that divider and put it in the room here. Separate us.
Yeah, but you're back. God. We're going to try to have some decorum, I guess.
Yeah, sure. we have a few weeks before we can kind of get on our soapbox and start venting about Disney life and all that stuff. So when you go on your next vacation, we'll be ready. We'll have a laundry list of things to talk about.
Oh man,
all right.
Yeah, because we've got some grind our gears things to talk about.
I mean, we can talk about it tonight. I don't know.
I ended last week on a grind my gears thing. So.
Yeah, we went on a tangent about the 7-hour popcorn bucket figments and then resellers. And, yeah, we
terrible. We were actually going to go to Festival of the Arts today. We decided not to. We just kind of took the day to hang out at home, get some stuff done. I actually have a video that's uploading for all of our patrons to watch. It's our first day video. It is 30 minutes long.
Oh my
god! Yeah, so it's like a real TV episode. But
and the best is today's Patreon day. If everybody knows what that means.
Yes, that is true. It's the first. So
happy Bourbon Day. Oh wait, not Bourbon Day.
So yeah, but
speaking of Festival of the Arts, you want to see what my latest purchase was?
Let's see it.
I bought it.
What is it? I can't tell. It's blurry.
It's a painting of some sort.
It's a painting of something.
The 50th.
Looks like the castle, fireworks.
The 50th on Main Street. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the one that they just made for. Let's see, does that work now? There you go.
That's a little better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the one they just made for the 50th anniversary.
Oh wow, yeah, that's awesome. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that is my latest splurge and purchase.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Had a friend down there. I said, hey, I need you to go scoop out that Thomas Kincaid booth.
I did happen to walk through Epcot. What was that? Yesterday, Sunday. Sunday, I walked through Epcot. I was going back to Boardwalk to do a photo session with a family, and then we finished in Epcot. So I got a quick glance at some things, but I didn't try anything. I did just for the sake of it. I walked past that. The stand for the popcorn buckets. Of course, they didn't have any. Of course,
and they took it off the sign too.
What I guess I didn't notice that. I wasn't looking for that. I just saw that they had a sign up that just said no, they're out of stock for Figment popcorn buckets at the moment. So, but for
A
crying
little
out loud.
sad. I'll be honest. That was the only popcorn bucket. If I ever was to get a popcorn bucket, that would
Really?
be the one. I'm a Figment guy.
Yeah.
Really?
I love Figment.
Do you do you have the do you have the Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket?
No, I do not. And I'm a
Okay.
huge Star Wars fan too.
Okay. Yeah.
But Star Wars gets enough love. Figment doesn't get enough love.
Right.
And so whenever the parks do Figment stuff, I tend to want that over the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Dave, you can just get a spork like me. $2.50. Probably cost Marianne more to ship it up to me.
It did, for sure.
It did. Hey, by the way, how's Marianne with her
Yeah.
her loss?
I'm going to be honest. I talked to her a little bit this afternoon, but we didn't get into it that much. I'm curious now because we've talked about this a couple weeks ago in one of our meetings. Who's she going to root for now?
That's a good point.
Is she going to stick with Tampa Bay?
No,
is she all of a sudden is she going to sign over her rights back to the Patriots?
She's going to go back to the Pats for sure. There's no doubt about that.
I don't like fair weather fans that move for just players.
Right on.
I was a Michael Jordan fan, and I'm still a Bulls fan to this day, even though Mike's been gone for 20 years.
Yeah.
My allegiance stayed even when Michael came back to play for the Wizards. I was still a Bulls fan.
Marianne posting up right here.
She's taking a year off. She's taking a year off. She's got to take it all in.
She's going to recruit.
If you don't know what we're talking about, basically Tom Brady, that's like Marianne's. That's her guy. He officially retired from the NFL.
Like second guy, Josh. You're first. It's like you, and then Tom Brady.
Okay.
Speaking of retirements, I saw the only thing that I saw was Roethlisberger finally retired.
Yep.
I think he's a couple of years too late.
Yep.
Probably maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah.
I have a feeling you might see another one next week.
Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go next week. They're going week by week, and they're all going to go out together.
That's crazy. That the NFL could be losing their big three, basically.
Yeah.
And
they lost Drew Brees Drew Brees shut it down last year.
Yeah.
But you got Joe Burrow, and I mean, I'm a big
Joe Burrow.
Hey, I know because the LSU thing, but like,
and I'm a Titans fan.
Two SEC quarterbacks fighting it out in the Super Bowl.
My
goodness. So I don't want to know who I hate more in the Super Bowl. I hate Matt Stafford and I hate Joe Burrow. Oh, wait.
Can you correct that? He goes by Matthew Stafford. There is no Matt Stafford.
We beat the crap out of Matthew Stafford every time we played him. So I'll root for Matthew Stafford.
All righty. So we've got to get on topic this week, guys. We're like almost 10 minutes into the show.
Oh, don't worry. We were about 15 before we even mentioned what podcast we were last week.
I bet. Welcome back to the Goldgell Getaways Travel Podcast. Each and every week, we're here to talk about some travel stuff, and I think we've been doing pretty decent on sticking with it each week.
We have.
We're consistent.
Nice.
That's the best part about adding the three-man show here. You can take off, Dave and I can go.
That's right. Exactly. I thought I was just you know what? Everybody else was retiring in the NFL. I thought I was retiring too. And then I got a message. I was like, no, you have to come back this week. I was like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah,
work I got to do.
The show had great numbers without you. I mean,
that's right.
If you want to sit off, then you can take the week off again.
That's right. Maybe I will, from now on. We'll let it ride. We'll see what happens. So, but yeah, so if you guys don't know who Goldgell Getaways is, we are a full service travel planning agency. We are a authorized Disney vacation planner here to help you plan your next destination vacation. Whether you have big kids, small kids, or no kids at all, we can help you plan your next destination, whether it's here to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, somewhere else, ABDs, Adventures by Disney. Some really great adventures going on right now with them. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys take it. I mean, you guys ran with it last week. So
we got to go back to our sponsorship because it's back, Josh. We got to give our man Adam some love. So Cooking with Adam is coming back actually next. Let me do my math. That's next Friday, the 11th. He's going to do 3 shows over the month of February, starting on the 11th. He's going to do caramelized apple and brie stuffed chicken breast, Hasselbeck potatoes and crispy Brussels sprouts. And then the following Friday, stuffed cabbage with rutabaga mash and Polish poppy seed cake. Amazing. And then Friday the 25th, green chili jalapeno cornbread with honey butter and cheesecake.
Sounds good.
Do you realize I'm on a diet and you're like speaking a language that makes me want to break said diet?
I'm shocked they didn't do like. I am not one to tell Adam what to do by any means. I would have done the chili and the cornbread on the Friday leading into the Super Bowl with a Super Bowl party. But don't get me wrong. If someone's throwing a Super Bowl party and they're going to do the stuffed chicken breasts, hey, call me up. I'll bring the 6-pack.
How about this year for Super Bowl parties? The food is going to be amazing. We can have Skyline chili and copycat In-N-Out burgers. Do you know how
In-N-Out burgers?
Make some.
Listen, I gotta tell you. Listen, everybody is so like up here with In-N-Out. We had In-N-Out when we were in California. It was like, yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's not Whataburger.
The fries were not very
Whataburger
good.
is probably the best.
I don't think we've had Whataburger yet, right?
That's mostly in Texas, right, Dave?
Yeah, it is.
That's the South. Yeah.
We've got them here in Alabama. I think Whataburger is and actually I think it is going to Orlando. Yes, Michelle, I stole that from you. She posted that on Sunday after both those games were over. But I would be up for Adam doing like a Super Bowl city. You know, all of these cities have great food. Why don't you do a copycat at every one of these cities?
That's a great idea, actually. That's a great idea.
We'll talk about that in our behind the scenes meetings.
There you go.
Right.
I have my people talk to his people.
Dave, we got to be honest though. We're lucky we got these three.
Yeah, you are correct.
You
are correct. It's been about a year since we did the copycat.
He was trying to get us back into shape.
I've got to. Well, I think what we need to do is we really got to work. I think Taylor and I really need to try to come up with some things for theme park stuff because he really took the load on last time on like kind of create some things. So we need to kind of like figure some stuff out that would be fun to do that we haven't done yet.
When the pandemic first started, you were doing copycat on the WDW channel.
Yeah, I mean we attempted.
It's because he didn't want to go outside. Why not just drink inside?
That's right. That's
what I'm doing.
Know. Everybody keeps telling me I got to bring it every time somebody stops us in the park. It literally is, when are the copycat cocktails coming back?
Well, because we haven't seen Josh the bartender in a long time.
I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully soon.
Let's get back on track here.
Yeah, we should probably get back on track now that
Josh, we're almost Josh, can you put up Adam's email address?
Yes,
so people know how to contact him.
I just had his website up.
Oh, the
Chef Digitator.
There you go.
It's a mouthful.
You can also go to adamgoldgell.com, which is a lot easier.
Or you could email him, Josh,
at adamgoldgell@gmail.com. All right. If I do this poorly enough, does that mean I just don't have to have control anymore, or
that just means you give me control and we run with it?
Oh, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Definitely not. So next up on our docket is we got group cruises. We got the group cruise in Alaska. So we got a 7-night Alaska. This is, Dave, I think we talked about it, like 160-ish days.
Yeah,
give or take.
Very, very close.
Yep. So July 15th, 2022, 7-night Alaskan cruise out of Seattle, Washington. We're going to Kitchikan, Skagway, Juneau, Victoria, British Columbia. We're going to be doing all kinds of excursions. Not necessarily if you want to do an excursion as a big group, you can. If not, you can go venture on your own. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff on the ship. Rumor is it that we're going to do some sort of bar crawl. Rumor is we're going to be doing some bourbon drinking and some karaoke.
There's no rumor. That's a fact.
That
one of the nights will be bourbon and karaoke with Dave.
I mean, as long as you're the one performing, Dave, I have no issue with that.
As long as you're dancing to it.
But like I would have to consume quite a bit to get up there and start singing myself.
Josh,
So
come on, dude.
Hey.
I'll do it. I will do it stone cold sober.
I can't do it. I just don't. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no problem like being in front of a camera, vlogging in front of like a bunch of people I don't know, but getting up and like singing in front of a bunch of people, I just don't know. I don't know. If I can do that.
Hey, the whole point of this cruise is we're going to break you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Exactly.
You'll be
That's
fine.
true. That's true.
Little background about me. I've actually sang at Carnegie Hall before, so I have no problems getting in front of
Wow.
people. So,
Okay.
you know.
All right. All
See,
right.
look at him
Brag.
just drop and just doing like that. I did this. Like you
Humble
got
brag,
mad last
man.
week when I mentioned I know Nomar. Like,
Look.
and you I played at Carnegie Hall. Ooh.
Nomar's a little bit more fun than singing at Carnegie Hall. Okay.
But
A boy band montage. Oh
yes,
boy.
we definitely
Oh,
we can go all the way
down.
back to like New Edition, all the way to, is there even boy bands anymore?
Look, I will bring out some of the old school Boston for you.
Ooh.
Step by step, ooh baby, gonna get to you, girl.
I have no idea who you're.
Dude,
New
that's
Kids on the
New
Block.
Kids. Josh wasn't even born when New Kids came
That's
out.
true. That's true. That's true.
So back to the cruise. The more important thing is we're gonna have a great time. We're really excited about this. We obviously had to push it off a year because of the OG, the original COVID.
Yep.
I think some of us, word is on the street, we're going to be heading down into Disneyland afterwards. Going to go explore there if we're allowed in the state of California. I know I am. I know Josh is. Dave, you might have to ask permission to go into California.
I've been there once.
Interesting.
And you haven't been back.
It was
but
for
if you're-
business too. So,
But if you're interested in joining us on this group cruise, events at goldgellgetaways.com, in the subject, Alaskan Adventure. Bam.
Yep.
Josh,
And-
you want? Oh, what do you got?
It will be a good time had by all. Trust me. I mean, there won't be any boring downtime on this cruise.
Like, I'm just excited to see off my veranda room. Like, you could just wake up in the morning and honestly, there could be a whale right there.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
And
That's true.
That's cool.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I've said this multiple times, but the first group cruise that we had was just absolutely amazing. I mean, we have made friends with people who, I mean, they watch us on YouTube, but we're still friends with them now. We still chat with them almost every day, and it's really like if you're worried, everybody that's going that's been before. That's the only people I can speak of. They're super welcoming and so friendly. You're gonna have a great time, so don't worry about kind of not knowing anybody or anything like that. And you can do as much or as little as you want, so you don't have to feel pressure to do any activities with the group. It's really just kind of whatever you're feeling. So we had some people last time that they came to absolutely everything, and then we had other people who, they showed up for basically the big meetup, and then I think I saw them once in port, and then they may have showed up for like one other thing. So I mean, it's really just kind of like whatever you feel. So
when are we getting
Great.
the group T-shirts?
the group T-shirts, you mean like these blue group T-shirts that we've got on? I don't know. That's going to depend. It'll probably be. I don't even remember how we did our group T-shirts last time. I think we just put them up and everybody ordered them.
Right.
So we might do it differently this time, but I'm gonna say
Every time.
that's what we
It
did,
gets
right?
me every time.
That's probably what we'll do again. So if you want a group T-shirt, you have the option to order it. But I think we'll definitely have lanyards that will be complimentary, and I'll have to talk to Pam about anything else because she's the co-boss. She's really the real boss. I mean,
I think we get the podcast logo right on the back so everybody can see our handsome faces.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
maybe we'll see. I don't
Got
know.
to self promote, especially if we're going to try
That's
to do a
right.
live podcast from a
Oh,
glacier.
I am. Do I need to bring my microphone?
No, you're not invited.
I'm on the logo, dadgummit.
So that's the group cruise. Josh, you want to talk about Japan a little bit?
Yeah, I will talk about Tokyo a little bit. So we are planning a group trip to Tokyo in 2023. This gives you plenty of time to start saving up. It is going to be, I think the deposit is right around $250 per person. and it's pretty easy to make. If you're interested, this is going to be a once in a lifetime trip. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. We're going to be hopefully seeing some cherry blossoms. We're going to be visiting Mount Fuji. We're going to be seeing some cultural, you know, like things. Like, I mean, it's a trip that just is. This is what happens when you take a week off. You just kind of like forget how to talk.
You're out of swing a little
some
bit.
cultural things.
I know, right? We're going to be doing a lot of really great stuff. So it starts on March 26th, goes to the 31st. It is all guided. So everything that is planned, we will have a tour guide with us. Transportation is provided. And in certain situations, we will have earpieces if we need them, depending on the group size and if they split us up, whatever. So it makes it really easy for us to be able to actually listen, understand, and know what's going on. And then on top of that, the best part about the entire trip also is that we are going to be extending this trip past the 31st into Disneyland. So we're going to be seeing Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, getting to see both of those parks, because if you don't know, they are rated time and time again as the best Disney parks on the planet. So of all the parks, so better than Walt Disney World, better than Disneyland, better than Shanghai, better than Hong Kong. They are the best theme parks. I think I left out Paris, but Paris never gets much love anyways.
Isn't that where the Amazing Beauty and the Beast ride is too?
I don't know. I've never been there, and I haven't really done that much research because I'm one of those people who like I want to see it when I get there.
You go in blind to the trips?
No. I watch all the rides.
A little bit. I don't watch any POVs or anything like that.
I'm opposite. Like this Alaska cruise, I have down to like every step of that ship, down to a science.
I think Taylor's been watching some videos because I see them pop up on our YouTube feed every so often. So,
hey,
but
John,
I won't watch stuff. So
we got a question from the people. Didn't know about Tokyo. Where is the trip info posted?
That is a great question. I can actually let me see if I can go in real quick and reactivate it. But you can send an email to events@goldgellgetaways.com and we can send you that information. Or you can go to goldgellgetaways.com and not right this second, but in like the next 15 minutes, because we're also doing the podcast, which I will throw back to Dave to take over since he has the ability to. It'll be up on the website.
Yeah, and if you want somebody, one of us will reach out to you and get you that information, Peaches. And look, I'm probably going on it. Me and my wife have talked about it, and I think we're going to spend some time there. Matt, we didn't win the argument. We tried to get them to move it to January.
I wanted Wrestle Kingdom for like
God.
For the wrestling fans.
Josh, I just don't think you understand of like the opportunity to see Okada wrestle in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okada.
I know that means nothing.
Okada and Ospreay and oh my gosh, probably Jay White. All these guys from New Japan Pro.
Yeah, it's
if you are a wrestling fan, that's one of the places you need to go see a wrestling event. I haven't had the pleasure yet, but we won that. We lost that fight.
So quick update. The Tokyo page should now be live at goldgellgetaways.com. Do we have a banner for that, Dave?
I don't think we do. I can make one.
That's right here. I got it.
Okay.
Bang.
It's at the top.
It's not the actual backslash, but you can go to Goldgell Getaways and you'll see across the top there is Tokyo group trip, and all the information is right there for you to see. Kind of a little bit of a breakdown, and if you're looking to make a deposit, you can click on Let's Go to Tokyo and enter in the stuff and make a deposit. So it's going to be a great time. Again, just like the group cruise in Alaska, which is the friendships that we have made so far with people from our past group cruise. Many of them are planning to go to Tokyo as well. So it's going to be an amazing trip. From the sights, the culture, the food, to the new friends that you're going to make along the way. Like
you need to hang out with Dave.
Right.
That's right. That's right. What kind of bourbon do you think they have in Japan? Like,
actually, they have Japanese whiskey. They don't have bourbon.
Right.
Bourbon by law has to be made in the United States, but they do have Japanese whiskey, and it's a different flavor, and it's actually really, really good. They sell it at the Japanese pavilion in Epcot too. So
Interesting.
and
Okay.
Morimoto has it as well there at Disney Springs. So if you want to start getting prepared for what your palate will be inundated with, go to Epcot and then go to Disney Springs.
all right.
Right on.
There you go. All right, Josh, we got to talk about what you did last week and why you left the inmates running the asylum.
Oh boy. Yeah, so I was on Taylor and I were on a Disney cruise. We were on the Fantasy. And it was a little hectic to start with, I'll be honest with you guys. We got an email on like Wednesday or Thursday, which is the Saturday before the Saturday that we were leaving, that they had changed our itinerary. So we were supposed to be on an Eastern Caribbean cruise, and last minute they changed the itinerary. So if everybody out there doesn't know, obviously we're always talking about travel here. Mexico is basically just like, hey, come on in. We don't care at all. As far as like the rest of the Caribbean islands on the Eastern itinerary, they are being a lot more conservative, maybe as far as choosing to let cruise lines in. So I think I don't know if we're in a group. Was it last? Maybe it was our same group. People are joining our group that are going on future cruises to get information on their cruises. And a lot of them have been commenting that their cruises coming up this week and next week have been changed from an Eastern itinerary to a Western. So it is. It sounds like it's happening a lot, and that is because doesn't matter what cruise line you go on, all of them are having positive COVID cases. Not that that's super serious, because when everybody's vaccinated, for the most part, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, so that's where we were at. We were sailing the Caribbean into Mexico and back. So
where were your original stops supposed to be?
I don't remember. Like St. Thomas, where were our original stops at? Tortola was one of them. St. Thomas, obviously, is always Castaway Key. Just those three stops. Are you sure? So, we really just switched Tortola and St. Thomas for Cozumel and Costa Maya. So we've been to Cozumel before on another Western Caribbean cruise with Disney, but this was our first time at Costa Maya. The last Disney cruise that we did that was Western was supposed to go to Costa Maya, and that was back in 2014 or 2017 potentially. And basically, yes, 2014 I think is what it was. Was our first cruise, and the waters were so rough they actually couldn't dock, so we missed it. We got into Cozumel really early, earlier than what it would be. It was actually late at night. It was like around like 7:00 the day before. And what was funny is that cast members on that cruise were talking about how they were getting off and going to Senor Frogs. And if you want to hang out with the cast members and have drinks, that was where you should go. So unfortunately, that's not the case for the cast members right now.
I was going to say, so, watching your video from the other night, it looked like it was kind of rocky after your dinner.
Right.
So was it rocky on this ship as well?
I think that the first night, so anybody who's not done a cruise before, you're a little skeptical, you're a little worried. The first day on the ship, when it officially sets sail, is always going to be the day that you feel it the most, I think. Assuming that you don't hit any rough water, strong storms, or anything like that. Most of the time, cruise lines, they can avoid that kind of stuff for the most part. But the first night, you always feel it the most, I think, just because you're not used to it. So we really felt it. So yeah, you I think it was like towards the end of the video.
Yeah, you guys were back in your room.
I was like, yeah, I was doing this a lot.
Yeah,
but it's just because you're just not used to it. So
also we got to take this time. If you watch the video from this week, and you want to know where Taylor got her dress, here's the link. Copy it down. Apparently, Taylor and Josh have been inundated with where did Taylor get that dress this week? So there is the link for the Cinderella-inspired dress. Write it down. Copy it. Love it. Know it. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, it was a great.
Out, Josh.
I mean, it was a great time though. I think anytime on a ship at sea is just it's relaxing for us. So regardless of what the itinerary is or what we're doing as far as activities go, it's just a time to just kind of, we don't have to worry about cooking our own food. You don't have to worry about necessarily kind of cleaning up. And I mean, we try to keep our room somewhat tidy so that our room attendant isn't like, working overtime. But, I mean, it's, you just kick back and you relax and you kind of go with the motion of the ocean, roll with the waves, all those kinds of things, so.
Right on.
So let me ask you this, Josh. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about cruising during the pandemic, and I talked about my Royal Caribbean experience. I think you were about to go on your Royal Caribbean cruise, or maybe had just gotten off. Talk to me about the difference between Royal Caribbean and Disney in their COVID restrictions and protocols and all that.
So I will say this: if you are at all worried about COVID right now and safety precautions and protocols and all those things, the best cruise line that you could possibly take at this moment is Disney. Disney is going above and beyond to keep themselves what they've been calling themselves as the safest cruise line at sea, and they are going above and beyond in doing so. Taylor and I actually, we had a great time on this last cruise on the Fantasy, but we kind of felt like that some of those protocols were just a little bit over the top, being that everybody's vaccinated anyways, aside from kids that are, was it like five and under?
4 and under, I think, because 5 and under now.
5 and up.
Right.
So, yeah. So, so when we talk about like specific different protocols, one thing that was different for us, which Royal Caribbean has now changed, was that in adult only areas. So if we went to an activity that was for adults only, or if we were in a bar, something like that, we did not have to wear our masks inside. But if it was an event that had families, because this was back before it was 5 and up, had to be vaccinated. If there were families allowed, then they wanted you to wear your masks still. They have changed that since then with Omicron being as prevalent as it is. And now it's, seriously. And so now you have to wear your mask at all times inside unless you're eating or drinking. Disney, the only difference now between Disney and Royal Caribbean is that Disney is still practicing physical distancing. And for us personally, I mean, if you are worried about that, take Disney, right? Disney's going to be the way to go. If you don't really care about that, which Taylor and I don't really care about that, not that we don't feel that it's not safe, but just for us, we're not that concerned about it. It made it really, really challenging to do activities on board. So we had to show up at least 30 minutes early to trivia. There were people who showed up. There were people who showed up 15 minutes early. They were not allowed in because of physical distancing. And let me add this: Independence of the Seas, which is the cruise ship that we were on with Royal, Fantasy, Disney, roughly the same size. They hold roughly the same amount of people, roughly 4,000. I don't know how many was on Royal Caribbean. Definitely way more than, it was probably at least half capacity, if not more. Disney, because of that last minute itinerary change, they had only 1,100 people on the ship.
That's awesome.
So did the ship feel empty?
The ship did feel empty for the most part, but because they're physical distancing, even though it's so empty, some people still did not get to attend activities. Most of the time, those activities were in some of the bar areas that are a little bit smaller as far as seating goes. But it is a reality that you have to think about when you get on any of the Disney ships right now, is that if there's something very specific that you want to do, bingo was a really big one. You've got to be there early. And let me tell you this, people start forming lines and they try to put markers on the ground so that helps people to form lines, but then they form lines in other directions. Make your own choice whether to do the actual line or get in the people line, because either one, you're going to get some looks and there will be people who are going to be upset. So I just, if you're going, just try to be early if you can. I understand with kids, sometimes that's not possible, but but other than that, I mean, we had a fantastic time. The pool was almost always empty in the adult area. And so we could kind of just get in, relax, chill whenever we felt like it. And I mean, it was nice. Even going down to watch the shows, they were physical distancing in the shows for the theater, but we got there probably about a half hour early.
What show is on the fantasy right now, Josh?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
The new show on the fantasy right now is Frozen, actually.
Oh,
your favorite?
Yeah, I know. It was.
You were singing along.
It's funny because we kind of started. The show got started, and I was like, man, I don't really like this show. I don't know if it's the actors or whatnot, but then once I got kind of past like the childhood part, it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was
once
great.
drinks started flowing,
No, because believe it or not,
Probably
on Disney, you're not allowed to eat or drink inside of the theaters.
Oh, you're not?
No.
No,
no.
because I definitely did on the Dream.
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to. So,
someone's gonna rat Dave out now. He can't go.
Yeah,
on the
right.
Oops.
Right. That which was, I guess, another big difference was between Royal Caribbean and Disney, which Royal Caribbean may have changed their policies at this point, but totally fine with you eating and drinking inside. Of course, you didn't have to wear a mask. So Disney, they actually don't even have their popcorn.
Like the snack bar
counter
right?
service. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. Outside of the theater, those are not open.
Oh, wow.
Because
okay.
they don't want people going inside with food and drinks during the show. So, and I think to some extent that might be Disney just trying to, I don't want to say pretend to be a little bit safer, but being safer for their cast members who are not wearing masks up on stage. I mean, it's a pretty far distance and it's a big space, but none of the cast are wearing masks. So it is what?
The mysterious voice.
What?
But she's quiet tonight.
Taylor has no idea what we're talking about, so she's just like
just adding in.
She's adding in, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Why doesn't Taylor just grab a mic and come on screen?
There's a mic right over there, but because there's a big echo, and I don't know. I always try to get her to be on, but she doesn't want to. So, but yeah. Anyway, so it makes the show nice and enjoyable that they're not wearing masks, so you can kind of see their facial expressions and see what they're doing. However, I will say we thought this was really funny. The Aladdin show, which is I always love the Aladdin show. There's a scene where Taylor's laughing right now. There's a scene where Aladdin and Jasmine have to kiss. And I don't know if it's because of COVID or what, but the way that they really try to sell the kiss was not very good. We busted up laughing. It's hilarious, but it's still a really, like I'm telling you, if you are worried at all about safety with COVID, it is the place to be. Taylor's over here like shaking around her chair, sliding it in, sliding it out. It's the cruise to take because they're really going above and beyond as far as safety measures go. So
that's what I've heard. I've heard that, and talk to me also about the COVID testing before you get on the ship. How rigorous was that?
Oh, wow, Dave. Maybe I should say everybody needs to go watch our video that'll post maybe tomorrow. No. It's really not that rigorous at all. It's really straightforward. It's pretty simple. The worst part about it is just the wait.
Did you bring snacks?
Having the things snacks stuck up your nose?
We did not bring any snacks. And if you guys watch our video tomorrow, you will see I do put the video in there of me swabbing my nose because you do everything yourself, but they do have attendants there watching you the whole time. So they're making sure that everything is valid, done properly. Otherwise, if you drop your swab, they're going to give you another one, because obviously that test isn't going to be valid. So, but it really is pretty straightforward and it's very easy. We were super stressed and had a lot of anxiety about it. But really that anxiety just comes from the fact that you've got like 30 minutes of like, am I going to be able to get on the ship or am I not going to be able to get on the ship? Like that's the worst part probably about the entire trip. It's just that right there. So,
okay. So here we go. Greg makes a point. We've been on the Dream within the last 4 months and they allowed drinks in the theater and had the bars open. I was on the Dream. So maybe that's the difference.
It might be a new protocol going into the holiday season with Omicron. It might be a new protocol. For us, they were totally closed and they were not allowing you in there with food or drinks at all. You could sneak in like a bottle of water or something like that, in your bag. But I mean, like they were trying to be as sticklers as they could be. Now all the bars are open, of course. Absolutely, all the bars are open. Like Disney needs to make that. They need to make that alcohol money.
Right.
But you cannot take that stuff into the theaters. They will not allow that. So,
okay.
But
did you see what Melissa put? Like instead of kissing, did they fist bump on stage?
did they fist bump? That's acceptable. No,
Like,
they did this really
Aladdin.
weird. Like they kind of like tried to turn their heads, and they did movements like they were kissing, but it was like their cheeks. Their cheeks were like rubbing each other. It was weird.
They were nuzzling.
It was strange. No, it was like the sides of their faces were like
They're
I
like
don't know.
cats.
It was weird. It was weird, but fantastic shows all together. So actually, they got rid of the show that I always really enjoyed, which was like Wish or Make a Wish. Not
The Golden
Wish.
Mickeys.
No, not Golden
No,
Mickeys. I didn't like Golden Mickeys.
That's Golden Mickey's on the Dream.
No, I think they had Golden Mickeys on the Fantasy too. It was like the very last night they did that
okay.
one. This one was like something about like making a wish or something like that. It had Pinocchio in it and some cool remix to their soundtracks. But yeah, so
I know as travel agents we're not supposed to do this. This is like asking asking me who my favorite child is between Ellie and Harper. I'm not supposed to tell you the answer is Ellie. No, I'm kidding. But
I'm telling Harper.
She knows. It's always funny because Harper will say, "I'm mommy's girl, Ellie's daddy's girl."
Yeah.
So you've done both Royal and Disney in the last month, and those are those are definitely the best two cruise ships, or cruise companies out there right now. Which one, if you had to choose right now, which one would you tell people to go towards?
Ooh.
Hey Pam, can you just turn this podcast off for a second? No, I Taylor just gave me a look too, like, watch what you say.
That's why I say,
listen,
do it.
This is the way I will put it. All right, this is the way that I will put it. For Taylor and I, right, for the experience that we want to have, we will probably do Royal Caribbean again. But like I said before, if you are worried at all about safety, Disney is the way to do it. They are doing absolutely everything. They're going above and beyond to make you feel safe. And we talked to plenty of people on the ship, right? Some of those people have not taken any other cruises besides Disney, so their opinions don't really matter. But well, they don't. I mean, they don't. I mean, like if you only say, like this one guy was telling us, the one guy was like, "This is like my 21st cruise. Disney's doing it right." Blah blah blah. It's like, come on, man. I mean, if you're only doing Disney, you can't really have anything to compare to. But we felt super safe on Royal Caribbean. We cannot wait for our Alaska cruise, and the expectations are only so much higher because it's all the way out into July. But again, I mean, if you're worried, Disney's the way to go as far as safety goes. I mean, they're doing everything. Hand sanitizer at like every 5 feet. It felt like every single possible touch point, there's hand sanitizer. They want you to hand sanitize. And I left this. Maybe I took it out. But when we got to the port to do our test, we're in our car and the windows are down. And yes, we're in the car garage, which is open to the atmosphere. And we did our swabs. A Disney cast member walked up and asked us to put our mask on in the car, which, like, I mean, come on.
Right. That's no.
I mean, and we did, I mean, we didn't give them any lip about it or anything like that. We put our mask on, but I mean, it's just that thing that like they are really kind of taking the extra steps. Sometimes I don't want to, they're taking the extra step. So
you do the actual swab in your car?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So,
you guys will see. So now it is different depending on how you arrive to the port, right? So I encourage everybody out there to go and watch the video potentially tomorrow. It's being uploaded tonight for our Patreons. It might not get posted tomorrow. It might get posted Thursday. I don't know yet.
It might take you about 3 or 4 tries to watch it because it's long.
Right. That's right. 30 minutes. But yeah, it's different depending on how you get there. If you bring your own car, you will test in your own car. If you take Disney transportation, they will drop you off and you will go to a tent and they will test you in there. I assume in the tents you are still swabbing yourself.
Probably.
I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming that that's still the protocol. But they have people, proctors, whatever you want to call them. They are there and they are watching you do it the entire time to make sure that it's done properly. So I like Greg's comment here. I'd choose Disney over Royal Caribbean. Just wish Disney would do a drink package. So,
Amen.
I think Taylor and I were talking. We talked about this a little bit on while we were on the ship. Disney's so family oriented that it just doesn't really seem necessary to really have a drink package on there.
Right.
Not to say that Royal Caribbean's not family oriented and that's a reason to have a drink package, but it's I don't know. It's just it seems to be a different atmosphere, and I don't. It is. It's very much like Magic Kingdom. You can only get alcohol in Magic Kingdom. What, like Be Our Guest in at the restaurant? Not Jock Lindsay's. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
Dave.
Skipper Canteen.
Skipper Canteen. Yeah. So I kind of think that's probably the same.
Yeah, and to your point, you don't go on Disney Cruise Line and talk about, let's do bourbon and karaoke with Dave or this or that. You go for the Disney aspect of the cruising. Royal, it's all about the drinks, and they walk around with the big flowery, fruity drinks everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So,
but to go back to that, as far as adults go on the Disney cruise, because we met up with several couples who were there without kids, having a great time.
By the way, I hear you met up with somebody that knows me.
Oh, that is true. Yes, we did. Yes, absolutely. They saw us at Remy and stopped and said hello, and then we met up with drinks. We met up with them for drinks at Ooh La La, which is the champagne bar. But if you're an adult and you're looking to go to Disney and you want to have you can have a good time without it. But if you're looking to have drinks, something that we haven't talked about, but we should talk about, we'll talk about after this, is that they do have classes and like activities that you have to sign up for that involve things of like bourbon drinks or rum drinks or gin drinks and mixology classes, bourbon tastings. So they have these things that are there for adults that you can participate in. It's just that, again, keep in mind, even though this was probably the one thing that frustrated us the most about being on the Fantasy, was that even though there were 1,100 people on the ship, it was almost impossible to get into some things because they're physical distancing. Again, which we're like, if everybody's vaccinated, do we really need to be physical distancing as much as what Disney's doing? So keep that in mind. But something I want to talk about, which is that Disney is really hyping up the renewal or the rejuvenation of their Disney Cruise Line app, the Navigator. So, what's that?
It's actually really good.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good. There's still an issue with messaging, which has been
forever.
It's been the issue since the beginning. Is
do you get to carry around the little soft phone everywhere too?
No, they don't. I didn't think they had those.
They're
anymore.
gone. They're gone.
Really?
The wave phones are completely gone on the Fantasy. I don't know about the other ships, but on the Fantasy, done. They are no more, and I think that's probably like a health.
See, that saved me a couple times, because when we went on the Dream, we took Ellie to the little kids adventure club or whatever.
Yep.
We went and saw a movie, and whenever she was ready to leave, they would text us, say, "Come get Ellie."
Yeah. Well, and so now that's been replaced by the app. And for the most part, as long as you don't see, the catch is that you have to have the app open on your phone. So it doesn't have to be like open, but it has to be open in the background. So if you close out of it, when somebody messages you, you won't know. So it has to be open in the background at least. Okay. But it is updated tremendously. And the last time that we used it was probably back in 2018. So our recollection of it isn't the greatest, but I can tell you that what we experienced this last week compared to what we experienced in 2018, which was our last Disney cruise on the Magic, it is like it's a completely different application. So, which made it really nice. However, for even though that we've been on Disney many times, it would have been nice to know that, like, hey, now if you don't know, you can just chat with a cast member and you don't have to go to guest services. We didn't know
Really?
that. We went and sat in the guest services line because since they changed our itinerary, we wanted to go and check on like dining reservations for the specialty restaurants and some other things. And we got up there and they were like, well, you could just message us on the app. And that was
cool.
it. So we waited. We didn't wait that long, but we waited, maybe 10 minutes that we didn't need to wait. If we would have known, if they would have had a cast member at the beginning of the line that just said, hey, unless it's something specific, just message them on the app, So,
Good to know.
Yeah. I mean, it's really great. It makes the experience a lot better, I think, as far as being able to do stuff.
So talk to me about character meet and greets. That's a lot of, I'm sure that you'll see more tomorrow or whenever it's uploaded on the WDW Couple YouTube. But for those watching us live tonight, Josh, tell us about character meet and greets.
They're almost exactly the same as they would be in the past, except for you have to leave your mask on. I know that in past cruises, Dave, maybe you guys could take your mask off.
Yeah.
That is not the case now. They're having you leave your. Oh, remind me about masks and photos. You will remember why I'm bringing that up. But you do have to leave your mask on for those photos with characters. And then obviously you can, see, and then you also can't get up close to them. So it is
still
still
a hug. Okay.
Right. It's still a physical distance photo. But I will say they were super interactive. Like I don't interact with the characters. I get like super weirded out by it. I'm just an odd person. Taylor loves it.
Even the face character or the ones that aren't in
the face characters even
that's probably worse.
Oh, they're even worse. You get like
when
Rapunzel.
You Josh having a conversation with Peter Pan.
Oh, yes, I could actually. That'd be hilarious.
Do not get me started on Peter Pan on the fantasy. Okay, Peter Pan. I was like, dude, that's not Peter Pan. There's a Peter Pan that we see all the time in Disney World at Magic Kingdom. That's Peter Pan. The guy that we saw in the fantasy, I was like, yo, this guy needs to go, man. But in all seriousness, though, they were fantastic, like super interactive, even from a distance. They were really trying to make every single guest's, interaction with them memorable and over the top. So it was nice. I mean, even though you couldn't take your mask off for the photos, and Disney is still very like, we want this photo for our advertising, because basically Taylor and I don't pay for photos. I get a little bit of video and then I take Taylor's photo and we try to get out of there before they're like, oh, we want a photo for Mickey's camera, which is what ends up happening. And then we have to give them our room number. We never buy them. Our photos are better. Our photos are much better.
Great TR media.
But it's a great time.
Memory Maker when you're purchasing with a
yes, absolutely. You should get Memory Maker in Disney World. But they were fantastic. Even with Taylor, I mean, she's an adult, right? So
is she though?
It was fantastic.
Taylor, look, Taylor's an adult. Taylor is definitely an adult.
Are you an adult?
But she's like me. She doesn't really want to be considered an adult most of the time.
Yeah.
So she's a child at heart.
That's true.
So
let me add this about photos. This was one thing that made zero sense to us about photos taken by Disney, which was that, and I think that this is like a policy maybe just for Disney across the board, and the fact that they want all of their photos to be consistent indoors. But when you are in the restaurants and eating, seated at your tables, and normally what happens is they have a photographer who comes around and they want to take your photo. They say, hey, do you want your photo taken? And a lot of families are like, oh yeah, of course. We're all seated here. We're not standing up. We're not moving around. We're literally just seated. Take our photo. And then they go, well, you need to put your mask on for the photo. Makes zero sense. And I think what at least what we were seeing at our table, just looking at the tables around us, people ended up saying, no, we don't want our photo taken because we don't want a mask on. Right. Now, when you are having photos taken outside, whether that's on deck 4, which is the running track, or way up top on deck 11 or 12, they're not making you put a mask on because you're actually outside. So I think Disney's policy right now is that, like, if their people are taking photos anywhere inside, those guests need to have masks on, even if it doesn't make sense. But so keep that in mind if you are looking to maybe have like a nice photo taken, you will have to have your mask on, even seated at the tables.
So even on like fancy nights or dress up nights, or you gotta.
Yep.
So what I'm hearing is
Yep.
coordinate.
You gotta
Find
get
you a mask
perfect mask.
that matches your suit or matches your dress.
You should.
Okay.
And if we would have, I mean, we don't ever really buy those photos. I think we've only bought them maybe once or twice, special occasion. If we would have known that, maybe we would have done that. But yeah, if you're looking to have that done, if you want that service, try and coordinate your mask with whatever you're wearing. It sounds a little silly, but seriously,
True.
I mean, if you want photos, I would suggest that you do that so that they, at least they're a little bit consistent as far as that goes. So
Dave's leaving. We got him
goodbye,
out.
Dave.
Yes.
I think he's got to try and get his kids to bed. He's having some cat issues. I heard earlier.
Yeah. But I know we don't want to get into it too much because I know it's next week's dining review is Remy.
Oh yeah, no, we can
let's give some little tips, like a little tidbits of it. I don't want to give you the full rundown because I want to make sure people watch next week's dining review next Monday.
Okay, is there anything specific that you want to know?
Well, we had Adam on a couple weeks, probably about a month and a half ago, and he went.
Yep.
You can just kind of go real quick. Like, did you guys pick the same menu? Like, did you and Taylor, not you and Adam?
Right. Right. So what's really nice about Remy is that they offer you a French design menu, and then they offer you, Taylor, is it like an Americanized French menu?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's.
Or is it just straight American?
There's an American
Fake French?
menu.
Yeah.
It's the
Parlez-vous
chef from
français?
Albert,
Right.
And then there's the French menu that's from
Yeah.
Michelin star chef in France.
So the two menus are the French menu, which is from a 5-star Michelin.
No, from a Michelin star chef.
Okay.
in-
I'm just making up stars at this point. It's from a Michelin star
50,000 stars.
chef. 50,000
in
stars
France.
in France, right? That's the French menu. And then the other menu, which many people might not know, is actually made by the chef from
Victorian Alberts.
Victorian Alberts. Yes, thank
Remy?
you very much.
Does Gaston or Remy?
Right. Yeah. So and the nice thing about that menu is it's Americanized. So it's very, if you're not sure about French cuisine, which I despise French cuisine. I don't know.
So is it
why.
like French fries and like French toast?
No, it's actually very nice. It was very elegant, but still, I think easier to relate to as far as your palate goes with food. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Would we go, like, am I going to go back again on the next cruise?
I will.
No,
Taylor will.
So y'all will be
to
going on the
Ashanti.
next cruise.
You
We're
know,
gonna go to
what do we,
Ashanti.
Matt, what do we have on the wish?
It's a Shante, isn't it?
Ashante or something like
that?
Yes, with that.
So
Y'all need
maybe
to move your wish trip to October.
No.
we're going to keep it in August, I think.
Fine.
Dave, Taylor and I are talking about doing another cruise in October, apparently. So sorry.
Come do the wish again.
Yeah. So no, it won't be on the wish, unfortunately. But
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, Remy is a if you guys don't know, it is an additional charge, and it is $125 per person. So
is it worth it?
I think it is. I think it is for the first time. And what's really cool about it is that you have the option to choose between two different menus. So if there's two of you, right, each of you can get one. Like Taylor got the French menu, I got the American menu.
Okay.
And so we could eat off of each other's plates if we wanted to. We didn't usually because I liked my food and she liked her food. And they of course, like any other specialty restaurant, especially at Victorian Alberts or anywhere else you go to. The other one that pops up into my head because of what I'm going to talk about is JW Marriott, CRNC restaurant.
Bull and Bear.
No, it's not that fancy. Bull and Bear. Oh my gosh. But there are add-ons that you can get, right? So Taylor got the, she got the Wagyu from Japan. That's like $1 bazillion, not that much, but it's an additional charge. But in it, it's just something else that just kind of enhances the meal a little bit and gives you some options to choose from, which is kind of cool. So, but Remy's great. I mean, if you're looking to try something, absolutely.
And did you guys hit like I know you didn't talk about it.
I'm not going to talk about Palo. We'll save Palo for the vlog videos.
But let me just ask this: Palo brunch or Palo dinner?
Brunch. We did brunch.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yep. We skipped out on dinner, and we'll talk about that at a different time.
We'll wait
Not
till
today.
that. We'll wait till that video comes out. And is it true there's like 13 videos for this?
Pam doesn't want me to talk about it. I don't know. We'll see.
13 videos?
We'll see. I don't know. I was looking at some of our videos today as I was kind of like going through and creating today's first video from the whole cruise, which is day one. We'll see. There's a couple of days, I think the sea days, where it's kind of like we did stuff, but like we didn't really video because like we were at the pool and we just relaxed for like a couple of hours, or we took a nap. You know, so and it's like that's not really good video.
I want to see a video of Taylor doing Bippity Boppity Boutique.
Well, Taylor would love that.
I know
Taylor
she would.
that.
I think that
maybe on the Wish. Maybe
your
on the
viewers
Wish.
would love that.
Maybe on the Wish. How about that? Bippity Boppy Boutique on the Wish for you?
You can't do that for adults.
Well, we'll lie and say that you're 12. Should have seen the look I just got. Daggers just
Well,
shot through me.
Josh, she pretty much threatened my life over Facebook.
Right. So yeah.
We're not mean, Taylor.
It's all friends.
What else? What else should we talk about here with the fantasy? Anything else? I mean,
well, so talk about, and this is something that so the Disney ships are older. You know, the Fantasy is one of the newer ships, but they are older.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Royal
Fantasy's
Caribbean,
going on 10 years, I think, almost now. Yeah, 2013, I think, was its maiden sailing.
Royal Caribbean's churning out new ships every other year, it seems like.
Yep.
Talk to me about the upkeep from Fantasy to now we see what the Wish is going to look like. Is the Fantasy starting to show her age?
I think Disney does a really great job of making sure that their ships look in top shape. I mean, there's really not a lot of places at all where you're going to see rust or aging at all.
At the coffee shop watching them deep clean that one day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I mean, so Taylor just brought up, I don't know if you guys could hear, but we were sitting in Cove Cafe, which is on the adult area of the pool deck on deck 11. And we're sitting in there, we're just having some coffee. And they had 3 or 4 guys out. And I mean, like they were deep cleaning the roof, which is like, I would never even think to like look up at the roof, but you can see that like it's a little dirty, right? And they are up there with like a, like they're scrubbing away at it, and they're keeping it nice and clean. So Disney does a really good job. Are there places like if you go and look for it, are you going to find like places that need cleaned up? Yeah, I mean, like that's true of anything. They're not perfect, but for it being almost 10 years old, it feels like it was, it feels like when we set sail on it back in 2014, it was only a year and a half old or something like that. So, yeah. But
one thing I was thinking about, Josh, is this was a specialty cruise, wasn't it? That you went on. It was this like this was a Star Wars Day at Sea.
Oh, I can't talk about Star Wars Day. Well, I can talk a little bit about it. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Because I'm going to segue it into the new Pixar.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So talk as much as you can and you want to before getting daggers off screen. Then we can segue because obviously the Fantasy is going to go to Pixar Day at Sea next January and February.
It's not even. Oh, look at this guy! Look at this guy! Star Wars Galaxy's Edge book. So I'm not even worried necessarily about getting daggers from across the room. I think Pam might send daggers my way if I talk too much about it. But so listen, okay, Star Wars Day at Sea is one of the coolest things that you could ever experience on Disney Cruise Line. It's unfortunate that this is its last year, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for us the way that Star Wars Day at Sea ended for us on this cruise. But segueing into Pixar and why they're kind of related, and this goes into Marvel too. So if you don't know, Disney Cruise Line has these specialty cruises every year from January to March. They have been Marvel and Star Wars, and now they're going to be Marvel and Pixar. And what's really great is that you get an entire day, literally an entire day, from like 8 o'clock in the morning until the nighttime, in the evening when they normally do fireworks, where you get these specialty characters that you will never see in the parks, ever. We saw Ahsoka on the ship. We saw the Changeling girl. What was her name? We just watched the movie the other day. You don't remember. She's from like episode 2, I think. She's the assassin San or something like that. She's like trying to
Fennec Sand.
Phoenix Sand, yes, that's what it is. And
Of course
then
he knows.
we didn't have them on this cruise, but we had them back in 2014. That's what I don't know. That's what Dave said.
Fennec
we
Sand
had-
is from The Mandalorian.
Oh no, not Phoenix Sand. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
She's the girl in the purple.
Different person, Dave. Anyways, other characters that we didn't get to see this cruise, they told us that they didn't make it onto the ship in time.
The COVID test didn't come back in time.
Where the I call them the pigs. I don't know what their technical name is, Dave. Maybe you can. They're what's his name? I call him Pizza the Hut from Family Guy.
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. They're his like
Gamorreans.
Gamorreans or something like that.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
They look like pigs, basically. Anyways, but there's a bunch of characters that like you're not normally going to see in the parks, especially right now, that you're only going to be able to see on the ship. So we did get to have a meet and greet with Darth Vader, which was really cool. That was a thing that you had to schedule before getting on the ship. And then we also got to meet C-3PO, R2-D2, and Chewie. Oh no, I was almost said the Wookiee.
The tall Wookiee.
Right. Dave.
Dave's just embarrassed.
I know, right? It's been a long
Oh my
day.
God.
Right? It's been a long
Look,
day.
yeah.
I didn't get much sleep last night, Dave.
I don't care.
Um,
You know, Chewie
but-
needs to be the first name that comes to your
I
mind.
know, right? I know. But what's really cool though is that unfortunately this is the last year. So if you are not going to get to experience it, you don't have a cruise booked. This is the last time that you have the opportunity to experience Star Wars Day at Sea. Hopefully, we'll see a transition where some of those characters or some special events might come back to Disney parks. Of course, talking to some cast members, that sounds like that will never happen. But for specific reasons. But what's cool though is that Pixar gives Disney the opportunity to bring in some characters that we've never seen in the parks before either. So I know when we went, are you okay? Jeez,
Is she
feel like
crying?
she's
'Cause-
dying over here.
I'm fine.
I know back. Oh my gosh!
I'm fine. Talk amongst yourself. I'll give you a topic.
Back in the day when I went with Taylor's family in 2009, 2010, it was cool to see Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc., which is Pixar. So I don't know if they'll be back out, but I would assume that we're going to see some really cool characters that you have not
So the
yet
ones,
seen in the
Josh,
parks.
that are actually going to be on the ship, because we actually talked about this last week,
Oh, okay.
are going to be Woody
I
and
haven't
Buzz
even
Lightyear.
looked. Woody and Buzz Lightyear? Okay.
Woody, Buzz, Bo Peep from Toy Story, Mike, Sully, and Boo from Monsters Inc., Joy and Sadness from Inside Out, and Doug and Russell from Up, and the Incredible Family.
Oh, that's too bad. You can see all of them in the
That's
park.
pretty,
that's all
pretty
parks.
much that's pretty much Hollywood Studios on water.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. That was the really great thing about Star Wars was that
I
you
mean,
got
that's
to
all
meet-
that's announced, though.
Right.
That's true. Okay,
I mean, I'm sure that Disney they will shock you and they will surprise
that's
you.
true.
Almost guarantee. I'm not. Well, okay. This is not a Dave Adams guarantee, but I could almost promise you that Disney will do something to make you happy and to make it worth your
doubt.
while.
No doubt. No doubt.
And the theater show is going to be Coco.
Oh, that'll be kind of cool though.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Coco in the theater. That'd be nice.
Hot
Yeah.
cocoa in the theater.
Hot cocoa in the theater. Now something that is different right now, and our cruise was a little bit obviously different because they changed up our itinerary last minute. The way that most of these sailings are working is that they would do whatever the specialty is, so Star Wars or Marvel, and then they also did a pirate night. So pirate night is standard. Yeah, it's standard across all the cruise lines, to my knowledge.
Right.
We actually didn't have a pirate night on this cruise.
Really?
I'm not sure why they
Could
couldn't.
you have fireworks?
We did have fireworks. And what's really interesting, and when we talk about safety with Disney and going over the top, they actually have you physically distance outside watching the fireworks from
You
deck
stand in
11 and 12.
like a circle, right?
Yeah. So if you watch our video, I point out all the circles. It's not the fireworks aren't in tomorrow's video, but you can see all the circles out on the deck. And they do have cast members who are patrolling the deck for that to make sure everybody's staying physically separated. So, but they are doing 2 showings of the fireworks, which is kind of cool.
Okay, that is cool.
Yeah, so it gives you don't really necessarily have to feel like you have to be up there 30 or 40 minutes early to get a good spot to watch them because I mean they're up in the sky so you can really see them from anywhere. And yeah, so they're doing two different showings, basically an early dining showing and then a late dinner showing, so that you don't feel whatever conflicted.
Before we get off the cruises, I do have to talk about one major attraction on the Fantasy.
Okay.
Was the aqueduct running, and did you do it?
It was running, and actually the day that we were going to go do it, it was closed.
Oh.
So I don't know if it was closed because they were doing maintenance or if it was weather, because I think it was actually pretty warm. I think that was when we were in Cozumel.
I bet Josh was just scared, so it was
Josh
was being repaired.
I was very frightened of said attraction. But yeah, I mean it was running the whole time for the most part, aside from when we were going to go do it. I think, like I said, I think they were just doing maintenance or they were doing some safety stuff, which was weird because I don't remember them doing that normally in the ports. But yeah, it was running the whole time, so we just never got up to it. We spent a lot of our time either in the adult area or taking a nap or in the coffee shop or playing trivia
or having Taylor take pictures of Taylor.
That's right. Or me taking pictures of Taylor.
Did she get a look? Did you get a look?
No, but I got a little eye roll over there. Chris, great question. With there being two different shows, are they shorter? I honestly don't know if they are actually shorter, being that like the last cruise that we took was like Star Wars cruise was 2017, and then a regular Pirate Night would have been 2018. I mean, they're not like Magic Kingdom fireworks, okay? Like it's on a ship, so they're limited on what they can actually do as far as pyrotechnics go, but it's still really, really cool to be able to see them at sea. So I think they were decently. I mean, they were like at least 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere in between there. So
that's nice. And we Hatbox Ghost, good question, but I'll tell you, I know. Look, we are not medical professionals. Question: do the mask be worn inside on the ship by June? Will they go away? I can't tell you. Look, COVID changes hourly. It feels like. I'm hoping that by July on the Alaskan cruise they'll go away, but I can't. I'm still going regardless.
Yeah.
So, my suggestion to you, Hatbox Ghost, will be whatever's the guidelines, follow it, and like I said last week on the podcast, be nice to the people who demand you do it, because that's coming down from their bosses. They had no control over it.
And that's another thing. And it's the same with being on the parks, being on the cruise line is like, you got to treat the cast members with a little bit of respect here. We saw one guy, we were sitting in Cove Cafe drinking our coffee, so we didn't have a mask on, but this guy comes walking in without a mask on, which it is inside, so you should have a mask on until you're seated and have a drink or you're eating food. And they said, sir, can you please put a mask on until you're seated and whatnot? And he was just basically like, he was a little rude about it. He was just like, yeah, I'll put a mask on once I put this bag down and have a seat. And it's like, well, then you're not going to put a mask on because then you're going to be seated and you'll have some. So, I mean, be respectful, trust me that like the cast members,
they're over it.
Yeah. So it's a thing with like Disney is going to be, I keep saying this, they are the safest cruise line at sea, hands down. All right. So expect that when you get on there, like protocols and regulations and all that kind of stuff is over the top. Right. I don't want to drag any other cruise lines that start with the letter C in the dirt because I've never done those cruises before. All right.
That's why we have Dave here.
But
I did that a couple weeks ago. So
I mean, I would assume that the protocols are very different and not, if I'm going to say one's more relaxed than the other, I'm probably going to say Carnival's more relaxed. They might not be, but Disney is over the top, like over the top. You have to sit 3 seats away from somebody else in the theater, and then every other row is seated. So, they're going over the top. Royal Caribbean was not like that. You went in and you sat down wherever you felt like, right?
I'll be honest too, and I'm over it, but I'm okay with them doing this because think about it. You're on a ship with, Josh, as you said, 1,100 people possibly, and those 1,100 people can't get away from each other for 7 days.
Right.
So what's the hardest part of just being a little safer just in case? I get it.
Right.
We've all got COVID fatigue, but just be a little smart. That's all I gotta say.
Well, and I think it's something that we've talked about on the podcast before, and we've said multiple times, which is that when you are taking a cruise or you're doing a vacation, whatever, you should already understand what you're getting yourself into, right? It's the same thing when we see people in the parks and they go inside, right? And you have these people who just refuse to wear a mask, or these people who get on an airplane and they refuse to wear a mask. Like, what are you doing? You know what it is, right? Like, you're just trying to make a statement. Don't be that person. Like, if you don't want to wear a mask, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait until those things change. Until then, just be a decent human being, please.
Yeah.
I mean, for the sake of everybody. All right.
That's it. Really,
I'm
just be
sure-
a decent human being.
I'm curious about this, Josh, because obviously, like, we're excited. The Wish is going to be coming
Yeah.
in 2.5 months, 3 months now.
I guess so. Yeah.
There's this. It's sold out, that inaugural sailing. I
Oh,
mean,
we
so that's-
actually we talked to somebody on the cruise that said that they had their parents are a whatever the highest possible tier is on
They've
Disney.
been on like 21 cruises.
They have been on like 20 or 22 something cruises,
wow.
and they were able to get that very not just because they're Disney's calling like the first couple months inaugural. They
so's
are on
ours.
the inaugural cruise, that first sailing at a port. So that's pretty cool.
So you got to think it's a full. That's going to be a full ship. They sold that thing out, I bet.
Oh,
Well,
100%.
I don't think
Well,
they have.
I bet they
don't
have.
think they-
And that's
That's
what
a
we were
question
talking
right
about.
now.
That's what we were wondering. Tanner and I have been talking about this, which is it actually completely sold out, or is it sold out to a limited capacity? Because you got to wonder if Disney has completely sold out this ship, and they're running protocols right now that don't align with that.
Right.
right. Well, they can't.
They're gonna have some problems. So I would hope that that's not the case. What I'm hoping for is that they sold this out at limited capacity, and if things really do get better, then we'll see staterooms start to open up, and you can jump in on those. But at least for now, it's sold out. So, but we don't know. We don't know if it's at 100% or if it's at 50% sell out. So.
I guess
But-
we'll find out sooner than later.
Yes, we will find out at some point. So
I can't wait.
Because
Right.
Dave, when do you go? You go October, you said?
Mine's, first week of October, October 3rd, I think is when we
We go August
Push that.
22nd. So we'll make sure there's enough bourbon on the ship for you.
Please do. Please
We'll
do.
make sure to let every one of the staff, cast members, and like the wait service know to avoid you at all costs. We'll give
Hey,
everybody a
you
picture.
know what? You know what I think we should do, man? I think we should get a cutout of Dave and like carry him around so that the staff know who they're looking for in the next couple of weeks. We should do that.
Well, the best
Like,
part
listen, this guy is gonna cause problems.
about Josh,
But
what?
I'll be with my family, so the podcast version of Dave is toned down just a little bit when I'm with my family. So
Okay.
And the best is
Alright.
we know people that are cast members on that ship, so it's going to be.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my server from
It's-
the Dream is now going to be on the Wish.
They
Okay.
we even talked to couple of cast members who are basically they've been picked up
Right.
to go to the Wish. So they're leaving. I
Couple
think it
weeks,
actually
they
might
gotta
be
go
in
to-
like I think it's in like March.
Yeah, they got to
Oh,
go
wow.
to March. They go to Germany to do
Yep.
training, and then they bring the ship over to Port
Yep.
Canaveral.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see if we're going to see like a bunch of jobs kind of open up for Disney Cruise Line, or if they've already opened up those jobs and they're trying to fill those spots currently. But what we were talking, our one cast member that we were talking to had said that they're still pretty much full staffed as much as they can be. So and which was true, I think, because there were plenty of times where, especially in cabanas, where we would see several cast members doing nothing really behind where all the food's at, just kind of standing around because they don't have anything to do. But
Yeah.
they have to be overstaffed because if one of their staff members gets COVID,
Right.
they're
Yeah.
out for the entire sailing. So
Yeah.
you know
Hey.
they've got to have backups.
So Hatbox Ghost is going to be there before any of us, and he's claiming he's going to warn about
Oh, boy.
all of us.
Oh boy.
Trust me,
Oh boy.
I know we talk about this often. Is Annika, who's a friend of mine now, who was our server on the Dream a couple years ago.
Yeah.
She is well aware of our nonsense.
Oh boy.
She is well aware of it. We
So
have
apparently
Facebook
I need
friends.
to
She actually might be watching this right now.
I
So-
need to request Annika when I'm going on my ship. And,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will do that in my booking.
When you book with your Goldgell Getaways agent, which is you.
Dave at goldgellgetaways.com.
Dave, you can throw your own email up there.
Oh, I can do that now.
But I did it for you. So
Oh,
there you go. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I forget that I have control now.
Yeah, that won't last long.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh, snapping your fingers. Wow.
I love how it snapped and he immediately went away too.
Oh boy.
We work on those things.
Oh boy.
Josh, anything else you want to add? Because we are an hour and 20 minutes into this, and it's almost
Wow,
past his bedtime.
We're
'Cause-
over, yeah.
Because
It's
Dave
right
needs
past
to go
our
watch
bedtime.
the Alabama Auburn basketball.
No, we're getting creamed.
Oh boy,
it's not pretty.
Too bad. That's too bad. No,
Oh.
I don't think I have anything really specific to add in tonight's podcast. I would say
Wait for the
that
videos.
if you're interested, you're watching, you want to see what it's like. We are doing basically day by day vlogs to kind of give you a first hand experience. That's right of what's happening. So, and on top of that, we've did a dining review from each night, so that you can kind of get an idea of what it is like to dine on Disney with rotational dining and some specialty restaurants.
I gotta admit though, Josh, I got two bones to pick with you about your
Oh boy,
dining
Not
let's
one.
hear it.
You want not one, but two.
let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So when you say bread service to a Disney fan, everyone immediately thinks of Sanaa. And you said, "Oh, we're here at Remy and we've got bread service." So I was like, "Oh, the naan."
I mean, but bread service is such a
I know,
standardized term.
But to a Disney fan, when you say bread service and Disney,
Uh,
what does your mind immediately go to, Josh?
I
Mine
honestly,
just thinks of bread.
I'm with Dave on this one. I
I
agree.
disagree. I disagree.
Okay.
I
And
disagree. All right,
so
second
this-
one. Let's hear the
now
second
this is
one.
part of number one.
Oh,
We didn't get a
two-part.
butter review.
There was no butter.
well, there was no butter.
How
It
is
was
there
a-
bread
it was
no
a-
butter?
It was an
Because
olive oil spread.
Oh,
So-
that's true. That's
dip.
true.
And you'll see that's a thing with a lot of the, even on Royal Caribbean, maybe not, but at least on Disney, when you switch to these restaurants, there is an option to always have butter, but the butter it's a prepackaged butter, and it always comes out cold. And you can ask Taylor. I don't think we got any video of it. It would have been funny, but I always take it and I put it underneath my leg on the seat so I can heat it up, so it's easy to spread.
Oh,
on my bread.
I wish that was on video. Florida
That's kinda
Edits would
gross.
have a
But
field day.
But every dinner is served with some type of different spread each night, whether that's a roasted tomato, green olive and olive oil, whatever. Each night it's something that's different. So it gives you, what I love about it, and if you watch the videos, you'll see, is that it gives you the opportunity to really try new things. And if you don't like it, guess what? There's
It's
always
else.
butter.
Yeah.
So you
And-
just,
Yeah.
you know.
So my other thing too.
Oh,
We
there's three
didn't
now.
see-
This is
no.
three.
This is no. Bread and butter is the same thing.
Oh, okay.
The
All right.
other thing, we didn't see video evidence of you eating the escargot.
Yep, that was my thing.
Oh wow! I
I
didn't
think
even
he's-
realize that.
I
I
think
didn't
he's
even realize
fake.
that.
I don't
No,
think he
I
did
did.
it.
I did.
I don't think he did.
Listen. The one
Fraud.
person. The one
You're a
person who
phony.
will. The one person who will not lie for me. Hey, did I? How many of you ate 3 pieces of escargot?
Yeah.
I ate the rest. Right.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Okay.
So what's that?
Yeah.
There's 7 pieces, right?
I think
There's
there's
7.
7. Well, I made the mistake of not showing me physically eating the escargot. So they think it's a conspiracy. I didn't actually eat it. No, it was really good. And again, it's like it doesn't really have a lot of flavor because it's kind of overdone with the garlic and butter, but it's really good. So really good.
That's where I
Okay.
had escargot for the first time.
Yeah.
It's just
We've
easier.
got a conspiracy here.
What do you mean? There's only 3
Eric
pieces?
said there's only
The
3
tray
pieces.
is 7. The tray has 7.
It's
things
7
in it.
circles, right?
I mean, Taylor ate 3. I ate 4. Like,
Okay.
I don't.
All right, so Greg has a. We'll end on this question because we've gone long, y'all. Greg, any idea when DCL changes up the restaurant menus? They were on the Dream in September and again in December, and the menus were exactly the same.
They've been probably the same for a while now. Or
They've
pretty
been-
close to it.
Listen, they've been the same menus for over 10 years. Because I thought our menu was a little bit different, but then when I went back and we kind of looked over some things, they're exactly the same. So I don't know if or when they will ever change up the menus. Hopefully, with the Wish rolling out, maybe they'll change it up. But I think the one night I'm always looking forward to having venison, and I didn't see it on the menu. But then Taylor said no, it was on the menu. I ended up getting something else. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't think the menus have changed in like at least over 10 years, and I don't know if they will.
A lot of the appetizers and the entrees and your soups are all the same. It's and the thing about it is like there's so many options. Eric calling you out.
I know where you live, Eric. We'll find you.
It's like your
I
French
like
restaurant. You're gonna get your French French style food. You're gonna like where you had your escargot, you had your French onion soup. Your steak. What did you have? Did you have a pork chop? Oh, you had the lamb chop with the
lamb, yeah,
right,
which was really good. It was fantastic.
Duck confit,
which was very good too. And listen, and it also might be a thing where at the end of the week when they have their little pamphlet surveys that you fill out. I mean, if not that they give you any room to leave actual comments, which was something that we, but if they're not getting a lot of negative feedback about the food, there might not be any reason to change it. They might just be saying, why change something that's not broken? So,
but let's be honest. Even if you've had it, once and then you go 4 months it's still better than the food you're getting at home. More than likely.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we mentioned this in the video too, that if you get something that you don't like, just let your servers know. They will be more than happy to bring you something else. Like like. They will tell you, usually they tell you the first night, which was really funny. We found out that most of our staff was very nervous to come talk to us because we were filming the whole time and we had mics on. So
you have that intimidating
right.
Do they like, oh my gosh, it's Josh and Taylor.
No,
oh my gosh.
No, it's more of like just the camera thing. But they are always like, their goal is to make sure that you have an excellent experience, right? Yeah. They don't want to hear that the food's very good. They want to hear that the food is excellent.
That's true.
And so they're going to do whatever they can, if they can, to make that an excellent experience for you. So if you don't like something, let them know. Right. Or if you love escargot and you want like 5 servings of escargot, I'm telling you, they will bring you 5 servings of escargot.
So it's really cool. The last cruise we went on with Disney, my wife is she loves creme brulee. 3 or 4 nights it wasn't on the menu. The waiter just brought out creme brulee for her, and knowing that she likes creme brulee.
I think that's the best part about the Disney wait staff on the ships. But after day 1, they have you down to
they know what you like.
People that know me, I crush soda. I'll have
Coke.
Yeah, I'm a big Coke guy. I'm actually a cherry Coke fan myself. But they'll know, okay, Matt's at the 5:30 and he's at table 24. My Coke's there ready. And they also know that maybe we should have a backup ready to go because that one's going to be gone once he sits down.
And they are very much a part of what I think makes your vacation that much better. And it's unfortunate if you do get it does happen. They're not everybody's perfect. We had on one cruise where our service staff just wasn't, this might sound uppity or selfish or something like that, but they just weren't as attentive as we had expected, because the very first 2 cruises that we had the best servers ever. They were amazing. They went out of their way to just go above and beyond. And when we had one cruise where the staff just wasn't as good, and it does feel like it affects your cruise. But remember, at the end of the day, they're there to make it excellent. So escargot or crickets?
I think this is directed at me from the fam trip in July. It's definitely escargot.
Really?
Yeah, that
Really?
cricket.
Oh,
Let's be
I'd
honest.
rather eat the crickets.
That
I'd
cricket
rather
was
eat the
gross.
cricket.
The only thing that was good about
No.
the cricket was it came with tequila.
Oh my gosh.
But escargot with the butter and the garlic and just
You don't taste the escargot.
no.
You taste
You
the butter
don't
and
even,
garlic.
but you don't even taste the crickets though. The way that they were seasoned, they were great.
But it was
But you
crunchy
crunch.
and weird and
oh,
just-
but it's a great texture. Listen,
yeah,
if you
it's
ate
fantastic.
okay, listen,
yeah.
if you ate the same amount of crickets as you ate as escargot is going to run through your body a lot faster than those crickets are.
It'll
All
be
right? All that-
perfect.
all
I'll
that
keep
butter
my
and
weight.
garlic.
I'll keep
Oh
my
my
weight down
God.
on the ship. It'll
Oh
be perfect.
god.
Dear Lord.
It's about you got to think it all out. But like those crickets, like they taste like I know they had that like little chili flavor to
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
But like honestly, they tasted like cardboard. Like
Oh, I didn't think so. I thought they were all right.
Really?
yeah,
I thought
but-
they were all right.
like I just was not. It came with the tequila fight.
Okay.
Right.
The tequila fight was amazing. The crickets, not so much.
Yeah.
But I'd go, especially like I've only started having escargot 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
I'll have it on every cruise line. Anytime it's on a menu, I'll have it. Like I'm
the
not gonna like,
finest, the
I'm
finest
not-
cardboard he's ever had. Oh my gosh.
the best is on the video. Like I put it in my mouth and you can just hear the crunch between
Oh,
my
yeah.
teeth.
I still say, that might be good, but Josh's best video is getting
Was-
flung
yeah.
ketchup on him.
Oh, that is true. That was that when that kid got that ketchup.
I
on
got to
me?
bring
Oh
that up
my
every
God.
time, man. I got to bring it up every
Dude.
time.
It's like once in a lifetime shot right there.
And then, do you have any cigarettes?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. She turned around and asked me for cigarettes. She asked all of us if we had them. No.
Well, you look like a Marlboro Light kind of guy.
Do I?
No.
No.
I feel like I'd be a Marlboro. What's the green packets?
Menthol?
Menthol, maybe.
You're a menthol guy?
I don't know.
You're like a Newport Slims?
Can I get a pack of Newport Slims and
This show has gone off the rails
some
already.
Camel Longs? I don't know. But listen, to wrap up the podcast for tonight and cruising and in Disney, seriously, like if you're worried, you want to get into like if you're wanting to do it, do Disney. It is, I'm telling you, above and beyond as far as safety goes. They're going to make you feel at home, and they're going to try and make your experience as excellent as possible. In all seriousness, does that mean it's for everybody? No, not necessarily. But it's really great, and I think a lot of people, the people who we were talking to, which were a lot of people with kids, said that they preferred to do Disney because of all of those safety precautions. So, everybody's different, but if that's what you're wondering, do Disney. So,
Right on.
There you go.
but I guess we're back next week.
We are back next
We are.
week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. because Dave has to go late because he has to put the kids to bed. Josh, maybe we'll go at 7:30.
Hey.
Oh wow!
Hey.
Get in a quick one.
Topic to be determined. We'll see what goes on in the travel world over the next couple days. Make sure to like and subscribe on our new public Facebook page, Goldgell Getaways, TikTok, Instagram. What are we?
Hey,
We're everywhere now.
how about this? If we get to, let's say, 400 subscribers on the Goldgell Getaways TikTok, the three of us.
Have you even seen what the number is? Or are you just
No,
making a guess?
I'm just making an arbitrary number.
I think you're not even close. Like it's
Well,
like the
where-
number should be like 1,000.
Where are we now?
Oh no! Hold on a second. We are at 952. Good job,
Okay,
Dave.
never mind. If we get to,
I would say 500 to the YouTube channel.
all right, 500 to the YouTube channel and 1,500 to the TikTok, then the three of us will do a TikTok dance on the Alaskan cruise.
Don't worry, Dave. We've tried this, and people have actually taken back their subscriptions on this. Like the numbers have gone down sometimes.
Well, no, we'll try it.
Right.
You'll see me make it. Look, I'll do the NSYNC bye 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 dance.
No, because we're going to do it together on stage
Yes, we will. Okay, good
when
point.
we're doing karaoke.
Josh, you're too young to remember it. I know, but
In Sync, bye bye bye.
yeah, you
That's
were
like a cultural thing. Like I
you
know
were
that.
like what 7?
I don't know. It's like in the 90s, right?
No,
I'm-
it came out in 2000 actually.
Okay, so yeah, I'm good. I know
Okay,
it. I've watched Ted Lasso.
okay, that's all that matters.
All right.
So yeah, follow us on all the socials. We're there. Sorry, Matt, didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah.
So make sure to like and subscribe to the Goldgell Getaways YouTube channel. That's pretty much where I'm going to end it right there. We'll see everybody next week. Now we're off to plan your next vacation.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.